After weeks of debate and really years of scrutiny, Tennessee lawmakers with a surprise today to many, voting to throw out the entire board that governs Tennessee State University. Comes at a critical time for the school. They're actually now picking their next president. We have team coverage of this headline news tonight. News Channel 5's Kelsey Gibbs talked with some folks in the TSU community, but about this decision, we want to begin with Chris Davis, who's been on Capitol Hill all day. Why did this come as a surprise to some?
Yeah, Rory, it was such a surprise because House Democrats thought they had brokered a compromise on this bill, that only a few members would be removed, vacated from the board, and a few would be allowed to stay on for continuity purposes. Obviously, that's not what happened.
But now at the 11th hour, we're going to pull this.
Tennessee House Democrats thought they had brokered a compromise.
And there was an agreement that 3 members of the board who were appointed by the governor would be vacated.
Then Republicans reversed course.
If they can't manage it, then we need to find people who can.
They decided to completely replace all 10 members of the TSU Board of Trustees.
The buck stops at the top. The people who are in charge of managing the organization are responsible.
Much to the outrage of Nashville lawmakers.
So why are we picking on TSU? The optics of this today are awful.
The HBCU has been under the microscope for years after several audits found issues with overpromising housing while under-delivering on record keeping.
That they kept accepting students in for which they didn't have housing.
And now a new independent audit released Thursday found that while TSU was not guilty of any fraud, they did find 56 observations and 60 recommendations that bring up concerns. Those include not being able to reconcile all their finances and being unable to keep accurate accounts of student scholarship funding.
I-66-25 names.
Speaker Sexton says a bipartisan group actually tried to avoid vacating board members altogether.
At first, there was no legislation. Board members were going to resign.
In conversations, things did not go the way that I guess some of the members wanted to have happen, and as a result, they chose that route.
Republicans claim when other attempts at compromise fell through, they decided they had no choice.
If we don't put a line in the sand, you've gone enough, we would be derelict in our duty. This has been going on for years now.
And now that Democrats have no choice, they say they'll do all they can to keep TSU moving forward.
We are deeply concerned, of course, about the effect it'll have upon the administration, students, and the direction the school is trying to go in to rectify some of the concerns that were raised in the audits.
Governor Lee wasting no time to officially sign this into law. That happened evidently just moments ago, which means right as of this moment, TSU does not have a functioning board of trustees. No word yet on when the governor will make his new appointments to the board. In the meantime, TSU has a loyal alumni group that has been watching every development of this entire saga. They have been on Capitol Hill today and many other days as this has been discussed. Let's bring in my colleague Kelsey Gibbs, who's following that part of the story for us. Kelsey, what do alumni have to say about this move?
I mean, Chris, we heard words like disheartening, heartbreaking, a loss for words. Those are just a few things the TSU community telling us at the Capitol today. They were there rallying, hoping for a different outcome. But as you said, unfortunately, their board has to vacate. Now, students and alumni, they held a press conference in the Capitol asking lawmakers to stop the takeover, meaning not to take over the Board of Trustees. But again, it was voted and passed. And people we spoke to today say TSU has and was making the correct steps to get the university in the right financial situations. We heard remarks on why do this to Tennessee State University when the state has never asked any other public university to have their board step down after an audit showed financial issues. Now, in a statement from the TSU, it mentioned that state lawmakers have made very little mention of the chronic underfunding that TSU has experienced over generations. Confirmed totals are $544 million according to state officials, in which $250 million was allocated in April 2022 and $2.1 billion according to a recent federal report. TSU would undoubtedly be in a different position today if they received the funds promised by the state over the course of the last decades, and students agree.
It's very disheartening to see this happen, and prior to any student leadership role that I've had at TSU, I've still cared about the institution. I've still advocated for the institution. Vacating the board is not the best decision, and I'm just very upset about this.
Now, TSU says in that statement that they are very disappointed, of course, in this outcome, but they will continue to work with the governor as well as the General Assembly when it comes to the best options for TSU, and that's funding as well as governance. And of course, if you want to read more on this audit or that statement from TSU, just head over to our website at newschannel5.com. But for now, reporting live in downtown Nashville, Kelsey Gibbs, News Channel 5.